The new La Belle Flower Edition was launched this year with the familiar curvy silhouette, but now the bottle is decorated with a gem-like dazzling flower near her shoulder. It looks simply stunning, and the flower, it has kind of pottery ceramic look, but when you look it up close, it's actually made of plastic, but it doesn't look cheap at all. It looks extravagant and it's sturdy. The peachy juice color corresponds with apricots used in the note composition, so everything made me really excited to test it out. How does it smell? How long does it last? How similar is it to the original La Belle? And would you like it? You'll find out that and so much more in this video. And welcome back. My nickname is Miri, and on this channel we talk in depth about fragrances. Let's start with the scent profile. From the initial spray, La Belle Flower Edition revolves around apricots. But apricot here isn't juicy or fruity as I have expected it to be. You don't get the scent of its juice or meat inside when you bite into the apricot. Yes, it is kind of fresh, plump and ripe, but fuzzy and dried at the same time, painting a picture of smooth apricot skin. And it's very perfumey with a slight artificial edge. Also a bit powdery, like iris was used here as well. And it's sweet, but not overly so, definitely not sickly sweet, because there is some airiness to the apricot, although it still remains dense, dry and plump, like sniffing the skin of apricot right in front of your nose before you take a bite, just as someone nearby sprays a powdery smelling perfume. The opening is enjoyable, giving perfumey apricot skin sprinkled with a touch of sugar feel, but in about 5 minutes, flowers emerge and they seamlessly blend with the fruity tones. Magnolia gives just a tiny bit of lemony freshness and also some dusty violet powdery feel, while osmanthus enhances that ripe peachy aroma, adding honeyed, even slightly milky suede-like touches to dominant apricot and sweet, creamy, perfumey jasmine. Apricot now seems a lot drier than it was in the opening, like someone dried ripe apricots and topped them with honey to give them a shiny glaze. But at the same time, you get bright, airy, to some degree watery, muddled flowers, making the scent less gourmand and more perfumey in general, even sometimes a bit lipsticky. The scent would lean into peach iced tea direction if there was no vague earthiness grounding the scent coming from vetiver in the base. And that's why the heart of La Belle Flower Edition smells to me like a bowl of dried, fuzzy, slightly earthy smelling apricot skin glazed with honey next to a jasmine perfume and watery, fresh flowers in the vase nearby. In the dry down, vanilla comes out more, but it's never gourmand sweet. It just comfortably mingles with floral and fruity tones, softening everything and giving a creamy texture. Vetiver is still here, it still gives earthy facets, while patchouli has damp, woody nuances, but thankfully, it's never too noticeable on my skin and it never becomes green, mossy, damp, soil-like patchouli like it can smell in some fragrances. It's nicely rounded with apricot and floral notes, which stay during the entire wear of this scent, and then everything is wrapped in a cuddly, soft, creamy vanilla embrace. So the base smells to me like a wooden bowl of a smooth, silky cream or lotion made of dried apricots and dewy flower petals. The more La Belle Flower Edition dries down, the more it becomes a distinct, creamy, powdery, fruity floral scent with traces of earthy patchouli. It always smells very likable, moderately sweet and subtle, which is a word I didn't normally associate with Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances. Just a few words, how similar is the new La Belle Flower Edition to the original La Belle Eau de Parfum? In my opinion, they are two very different fragrances. If new La Belle Flower Edition didn't come in familiar La Belle silhouette, I wouldn't be able to connect them or guess they are related in any way. Obviously, they have some similarities, but nothing too obvious that you would smell smell it and you would think, oh yes, this is a La Belle flanker. What is similar? Both start fruity, but compared to the juicy, syrupy, sweet pear in La Belle Eau de Parfum, Apricot in Flower Edition is dry, powdery, and perfumey. The original is much sweeter, it's more syrupy, while this one, it's moderately sweet and definitely more everyday, casual type of perfume compared to the sexy, flirtatious character of the original. Both have slight earthiness coming from vetiver and both are rounded with vanilla, but the original is more gourmand leaning with interesting mix of sweet, syrupy, aquatic and deep leathery earthy facets, while the new Flower Edition is more perfumey in general, so it could be a standalone fragrance. That's why if you're a lover of the original La Belle or any other flanker, this one might be a bit disappointing because this is the biggest departure from the former ones, and also it's not loud, bold and sexy as other Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances usually are. But that doesn't mean this is a bad release in any way. The mixture of dried apricots in a wooden bowl with freshly picked, watery and perfumey flowers truly smells lovely. This is a low-key fragrance that is a touch of everything but never too much of anything, and that might be a good but also a bad thing. Will this be likable to most people? Yes. But will it be a love at the first sniff? Probably not. For some reason, Flower Edition smells nostalgic, retro 80s to me because it matches its peachy pastel color. It's soft, it's feminine, it's elegant, never too overpowering scent, so it is kind of like a good girl perfume. For me, this is a like bordering on strong like, and it has potential to grow on me. That's why I would rate its scent with 8 out of 10. And in terms of performance, it's not a wow loud fragrance that will announce your presence. I get about 6 hours of wear on my skin with moderate projection, but it will sit for hours in my hair or on my clothes. So from time to time, I get whiffs of this lovely, bright, floral, peachy sweetness. So it is a good performer, nothing special, but it deserves 7 out of 10 for its performance. If you found this video helpful and enjoyable so far, then boop the like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content coming up. And also that's a huge reward to me for all the effort I put into making these in-depth reviews. And now let's briefly talk about the cons and pros of this new La Belle Flower Edition. The first negative point is that this is not a attention-grabbing fragrance. And if you're into Jean Paul Gaultier perfumes, they all have this distinctive, momentarily attention-grabbing and almost always seductive character. This one, it doesn't give you that. It's not attention-grabbing perfume. There's no instant love effect. There's no cheeky Gaultier vibe or character. This is polite. It's a likable perfume with unique but very demure character. And the second negative point is the patchouli. I have no problem with patchouli here, but some in the comments complained that Flower Edition has a certain damp, musty, sour undertone that bothers them. As I said, for me, patchouli is pretty subtle here and I get more earthiness from vetiver than patchouli itself. But because every fragrance wears different on different skin types, test it first before blind buying it, especially if you're sensitive to patchouli. And now 2 positive points. First one, this is an easy wear. It's something women of any age can wear. It's likable, it's ultra feminine, it's not particularly challenging fragrance, especially in the dry down after the opening, which has like a touch of artificialness. Also, this is more spring and summer oriented fragrance, but I think it might work for autumn as well. It makes you feel nice, elegant and put together. And the second positive point is a unique apricot note. Before making this review, I thought hard to what other perfume I can compare it with, and I couldn't think of any other fragrance with a similar note structure or similar scent. If you can think of any, please let me know which one is it in the comments. So that makes it pretty unique in my book, especially the way fruits are done here. Usually Usually fruity perfumes are either juicy and realistic, either jammy, but apricot here isn't any of that. It has a dry, powdery character, and from the start it focuses more on fuzzy skin of apricot rather than on fleshy, juicy meat inside the fruit. And in the end, I think it's important to mention how expectations and presumptions about a certain release might influence the way we feel about it. The first expectation is the one Jean Paul Gaultier lovers might have, and that is to get something daring, loud and sexy as other Jean Paul Gaultier perfumes are. And this isn't that. Flower Edition is a subtle, demure, lovable, very agreeable fruity floral perfume with creamy vanilla. It's more of a perfume you would wear to a church rather than something you would wear to a club or for a night out. The second expectation is the one floral lovers might have based on its name, and the name is misleading. If you want a perfume that is a floral haven, this one might disappoint you. I don't know why it's called Flower Edition, because during the entire wear, apricot is just as prominent as floral notes, so this could be called Apricot Edition as well. And the third expectation was mine based on the notes. I was hoping to get juicy apricots with vanilla custard in a flower garden, but the scent isn't as gourmand and as delectable as I imagine it to be. So having certain expectations always makes a person less objective when determining how good actually something is. And because I hoped it would be something else, something more delectable, and because I thought it would be just as impactful and just as bold as previous Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances are, that's why it's hard for me to be completely objective when rating the new Flower Edition. But overall, yes, this is a good release and it's a very balanced fruity floral vanilla fragrance. It would be a good transitional fragrance as well. It's noticeable but not overwhelming, and it feels romantic, delicate and peachy cute. Currently this is marketed as a limited edition, but Paradise Garden last year was also a limited edition, and now it's a regular part of La Belle range. Oh, and if you want to know more about La Belle range, I will link this video in the description box. That's why I think that sales are probably going to be a determining factor. Will Flower Edition become regularly available or not? It's an elegant, creamy, fruity, powdery floral scent that has a lot of potential, and the more I wear it, the more I like it. So 3 words I would describe it with would be powdery apricot skin, and overall I would rate its scent and performance with 7.5 out of 10. This is just what I think, but now it's time for you to share your thoughts and experiences with this new release, even if they differ from mine. And don't forget to boop the like button, and if you would like to watch another in-depth review of another designer fragrance, check out this video next. I will see you there. Bye!